What's going on, everyone? Scott Reviews here. We're back with another video. This time we're going to be talking about top 10 movies that I think you should probably include in your Halloween movie marathons. I tried to pick movies that weren't so obvious. Not your Texas Chainsaw Massacres, your Halloweens, your Friday 13th, Child's Plays, none of those. I'm going to show you a couple movies that the first few are camp, then there's serious, and then there's some that are just outright so bizarre that you will think, Scott, you're crazy. Okay, first one, really campy, I love it to death, Motel Hell. This one just had a new reissue from Scream Factory in a steelbook and a 4K remaster. I love this movie. Love this movie. It's a lot of fun. You look at the cover and you think, oh geez, it's just some slasher movie. But actually, you know what? There's a lot more fun to it than the cover kind of leads you to believe. Motel Hell centers around two owners of a rural motel who secretly farm humans to make meats. It's a movie that you seem to just really enjoy the villains to the point of where you're actually rooting for them more than you are the people that are their victims in the movie. You kind of almost feel bad for them in a weird way, and you feel like a horrible person thinking that. But it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy the characters in this. There are moments in it where you just can't unsee those things. And yeah, just a very memorable, fun, goofy kind of horror movie. Check it out, Motel Hell. Okay, next one, Waxwork. I really enjoy this one. Particularly, it's all about these group of kids who go into a waxwork museum and all the exhibits start coming to life and taking them and throwing them into their universe, and they're killed off by those characters. I think that it's a kind of movie that really just has fun with the premise and runs with it. I guess the filmmakers, they wanted to make a movie where it's all the very best last 15 minutes of Hammer horror movies and put them in one film, and you can definitely tell that it has some of those best moments in the movie. A lot of fun. Check it out. Waxwork. Kind of goofy, but not your typical slasher movie, I guess. Next one is a John Carpenter, Tobe Hooper collaboration. It was made for cable, and a lot of fun because I like anthology movies, and that is Body Bags. And John Carpenter actually is in it as a coroner who introduces each of the movies. So you get several movies in one. It's just a lot of fun, and it's really goofy. Has Mark Hamill in it, has Stacy Keach in it, some recognizable faces from other films, and yeah, a lot of fun. Body Bags. If you like anthology movies like Trick or Treat or Creep Show, definitely check out Body Bags. All right, next one, Ginger Snaps. I love this one. It's a werewolf coming of age. It definitely kind of like surprises you kind of where it's going to go. I mean, obviously you have the typical werewolf tropes in it, but it's done through the point of view of two teenage girls. A lot of fun. Check out Ginger Snaps if you're into werewolf movies but need something a little different. Next one, we're going to get into a little bit more serious tales, and this is a movie that I love to death. Wait Until Dark. A lot of fun. Audrey Hepburn, Alan Arkin film. Audrey Hepburn plays this blind woman living in her house alone, and these two criminals try to break in and steal a stuffed teddy bear filled with heroin. Doesn't entirely sound like a horror movie, but when you think about it, it kind of has a very Hitchcock feel to it. Some great jump scares in it. Really love this movie, and it's based off of a stage play, so they definitely utilize the sets that they have in this film. And it's directed by Terrence Young, who also did Dr. No. Fun fact. Anyways, check out Wait Until Dark. Anyone who's seen it can probably vouch of how awesome this movie is, so check it out. It's more serious, thriller-esque. Okay, Next one is a movie that I actually don't have, unfortunately, and it's out of print, which is really unfortunate. Martin is a vampire tale, but a lot of its tropes are kind of broken down. You're almost not sure if he's actually really a vampire. It's a movie that I think a lot of people don't really think about when they think of George Romero. And they have that social commentary in those movies as well, too, just like his zombie movies. I love The Crazies. I love Creepshow. He's made terrific films that are non-zombie, so I think you should definitely check out Martin. And hopefully you get some sort of Blu-ray release sometime. I think Second Sight is releasing a 4K or a Blu-ray at some point. I think they have to get Dawn of the Dead out, and then they'll work on Martin. Something like that. Hopefully, because I'm definitely going to pre-order it. Next one, speaking of Second Sight, this is a slow burn ghost story, and anyone who's seen it can vouch for it. It's a wonderful movie. The Changeling. And it has George C. Scott in it. He plays a music professor who his wife and kid died in a car accident, and to change scenery, he moves into a house that's apparently haunted, and he starts trying to uncover the mysteries of why this house is haunted. Wonderful movie, thoroughly enjoy it, has a great ending, and just kind of more of an intellectual horror movie, I guess if you want to call it, but it's definitely slow burn. If you want those kind of movies that definitely aren't like crazy shock movies, this one's a good one. Feels more like a drama, and George C. Scott does a phenomenal job in it. So, The Changeling, great movie, love it. Okay, next one. If you recognize my t-shirt already, you probably know which one I'm going to recommend next, and that is House or Hasu. I don't know if I'm 100% pronouncing it correctly, but this movie, it's bizarre to no end. It doesn't have much of a plot, except for these teenage girls go to this haunted house, and everything starts eating them, from pianos to all kinds of other things. It's just very bizarre, and the less that I talk about it, the more that you'll probably get out of it. All right, next one. It was made around kind of a couple years before Night of the Living Dead, and for some reason it gets compared to it. I don't know why. It seems like a very different movie, has kind of a Twilight Zone feel, and it's Carnival of Souls. Wonderful movie. This woman gets into a car accident, and she starts walking around, but the thing that's different about her experiences is that there are a group of people that start following her. Really bizarre. You can almost call them ghouls, I guess. And it's very dreamlike. There are just some great scenes in the movie. I love Carnival of Souls. Before I get to the last one, I'm going to do a runner-up. Universal classic 30 film monster collection. Love these movies, love them as a kid. As an adult, I love them. They're movies that you can watch with anyone. And if you can't think of any movies to watch, or you're bored with sitting through all the movies that you've seen 100 billion times, pick out one of the monster movies, and it's definitely a good set. And it goes on sale a lot on Amazon, so pick it up. Okay, last movie. If you've seen this movie, you probably are wondering, why would you recommend that as a horror movie? And I'll tell you why. It's because there are some moments you just cannot unsee, and it will stay with you forever. So anytime you see this poster, anytime you see anything about the movie, you're like, that scene. Eraserhead. Love this movie. Now, when I first saw it, I hated it. Did not like it. Did not understand it. But I wondered, why is this movie recommended so many times? And it wasn't really until Twin Peaks that I got back into David Lynch movies. And this movie is almost just a cursed movie in general, because it doesn't make it, its point doesn't really come across very obvious. And the more that you get into it, the more you get sucked into it. It's kind of like an onion, the layers start peeling. And even if you don't really know what the movie is, there are some images in this movie that just stay with you forever. And I think the older that I get, the more this movie haunts me. Wonderful movie, and it's so disturbing. So it never explains to you what you're seeing. And I think what makes a great horror movie is that you're scared of the unknown and there's no comfort in it. And that's what Eraserhead does. And that is my top 10 movies that I think you should add into your horror movie marathons. If you liked it, leave a comment down below and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.